Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Broad Podcaster here in the Highland Lakes with me, Jennifer Fierro, and my happy-go-lucky sidekick, who is probably the happiest guy in the Highland Lakes, Art Dlugach, still the voice of the undefeated Llano Yellow Jackets this week. They are one of two teams playing in the Highland Lakes region. Three of our football teams are on a bye, so we're going to start with the Yellow Jackets because they're going into their second district game. But before we do that, if you want to get everybody caught up on the win in San Antonio, Cole, please do.
Well, it was just another outstanding night for the Jackets. Now, Cole, the Cougars were overmatched, no question. And the only question was going to be how many people would be upset over simply a 7-point first quarter for Llano. In fact, Llano got the ball first and held it for all of 16 seconds and had to punt it. And that was the highlight of the night for Cole. The Jackets win it 59-0. That's the 8th most points scored by a Llano team in a single game. The school record is 72. Carson Kirkendall, 5 touchdowns, 162 yards. That's his second 5-touchdown game. This was achieved in one half. The 162 yards also. Briggs Green, 12 of 16, 1 touchdown pass, 182 yards. Bryce Mize was 8 for 8 on his extra points, and that is the second most EPs in a game for a Jacket kicker. 587 yards total offense, giving Llano 2,640 yards, or more than 500 yards a game for 5 games. That of course, is outstanding. On defense, unofficially, but we've been told, Llano and the defensive coordinator, Matt Anastasio's team, held Cole to just 78 yards of offense. Charlie White and Ulysses Martinez with interceptions in the game, and that gives Llano 11 in just the 5 games. Braden Hatfield stole the ball from one of the running backs or the quarterback for Cole and ran 25 yards for a touchdown. That is officially called a fumble and a touchdown, of course, for Hatfield. So scoring in all different ways. And it was just a total rout, 35 to nothing at the half for Llano. And from there, it just was 24-point third quarter and no scoring in the fourth. Head coach Matt Green really took his foot off the pedal and wasn't going to score or try to score too hard any more points than that. And I thought that showed good sportsmanship. So Luling is in town Friday night, homecoming, and that will be the second game of district play. Luling 0-1. Llano will be heavily favored to win that one.
And then after that, the remaining games will be against teams that are expected to make playoffs.
Oh, yes. UC Randolph at Randolph Air Force Base will be a good one after Luling. Then Marion comes to Llano, and after that the Jackets go to Blanco, have a week off, and then wind up the regular season hosting Ingram.
Okay, all right. So let's go back just a little bit on Cole, because it does seem like the Yellow Jackets sent a clear message to the rest of the district that they better come ready to play. If they're going to play the Jackets, they better bring their A game.
I think Llano has done that every week, beginning with a 48-26 win over Gerald to open the season, then the big win over Burnett. Was Crockett, 57-13.
That's right, House Park.
Yes, at House Park, 57-13. Then Coleman, 31-6. Then this win, 49-0. Llano is just a touch below, averaging 45 points a game.
So I know I ask you this a lot in terms of what impresses you the most, and it's not unit. I think everybody can agree it's the linemen. So we'll move that to one side. When we talk about, though, performances, because you had mentioned going into this season, everybody knew that Briggs was a new starting quarterback. The Jackets were going to have a new starter quarterback. Even though it's a spread team, I like to say spread to run. I think they still spread everybody out, but it's more of a run-oriented offense right now. At least that's what you said. In my mind, there are so many RPOs for the quarterback that he has those options to run or to pass, but they're averaging how many yards on the ground right now? Would you say?
I would say about 7 per carry.
7 yards per carry. That's almost a first down every time they touch the ball. Wow.
Miguel Hernandez, very much responsible for a lot of yards himself, besides Kirkendall.
The two senior running backs there. So offensively, you still stick with the offensive line as being the most impressive part of that unit. What sticks out for you about the defense when you think of the Jackets?
Well, the defense has done terrifically, beginning with Coleman, because the Jackets, I did not expect Llano to hold Coleman to 6 points, and Llano held Burnett to just 21. One of those CDs scored was very much helped by a penalty. So the defense has done fine. I mentioned all the interceptions.
Well, and in fairness to Coleman, just to tell you how good they are, they have scored multiple touchdowns in every game they've played, minus the season opener against Mason, where they went into the Puncher Dome and won 7-6, where Mason was going in for the go-ahead touchdown, the winning touchdown, and threw an interception in the end zone, and that ended that march, and Coleman was able to secure a win there, and then, of course, against the Jackets. So Coleman was a top 10 team going into the season in 2A.
Yes.
With all due respect, in 2A, I think they're going to do really well in the playoffs, and they've done really well so far this season. So to me, that's a great win. I don't know which one of the wins so far you would say is a signature win, because I think you feel that there's still better district games coming, right?
Well, the signature win would still have to be Burnett.
Okay.
Because it broke the 13-game losing streak to the Bulldogs. So I would tip my hat to that great win. But Coleman is right up there. And Gerald turned out to be a tough team, which the defense held those Cougars to just 1 touchdown in the second half. And that was a big reason for that victory. Sounds like it wasn't very close at 48-26, but it was looking plenty dangerous until the defense really got going in the third and fourth quarters.
Okay.
Now, one thing too, Briggs has thrown well, Briggs Green, and he's got fine receivers in Ross Prokop, in Sam Sultan Fuss, Jackson Dillard, Coy Kelso, who hasn't scored but 1 touchdown, but he is still very dangerous.
Well, would you say, at least from the way things look, a lot of those receivers are making plays for Briggs, meaning sometimes those passes may not be completely on target, so they are leaping in the air, they're making big grabs for him, they are adjusting maybe a little bit of their route a tiny bit to make plays for him, which I think if that's true, they're really helping him with his confidence.
I don't think that when Briggs goes back to pass, it's necessarily an RPO. He gives it plenty of time to throw the ball. Then if he can't, he'll take off, and he's plenty dangerous running the football. So just everything has gone well. We won't learn that much against Luling, but I'll assure you we'll learn a whole lot against UC Randolph.
Well, again, I don't think Llano can win the district championship after, beating Luling doesn't guarantee a district title, but it keeps those title hopes alive, and they're still in control of their own destiny with the win. I don't anticipate Luling is going to be. I think Luling is going to give it everything they have. I just think Llano will be too much.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Okay. We're going to close this segment out. When we come back, we're going to go to Burnett County. We're going to stay in 11-man football. We're going to talk about the Bulldogs and the Mustangs. Both of those teams finished up their pre-district schedules, last week. And we're going to get you caught up on that. And they're also on byes. We're going to tell you what they're doing this week. Please go to TexasChalkTalk.com for all of your Highland Lake sports news. And please like, subscribe, and share the channel.